All right, let's talk about a skill that can honestly make or break your career. Mastering professional communication. We're going to cover everything, from the old school power of a formal letter all the way to the tricky art of writing the perfect email. The goal? To give you the tools to communicate with some real confidence and clarity.
You know that feeling, right? That pit in your stomach the second after you hit send. You start wondering, was my tone okay? Did I forget the attachment? That single moment just goes to show how high the stakes really are. A bad message can cause so much confusion, but a great one can open doors you didn't even know were there.
So where do we even begin? Well, we start right here, with these basic, fundamental questions about business communication. We're going to go through them one by one and build out a powerful communication toolkit for you. So yeah, this is basically our roadmap to help you become a way more effective and confident communicator.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the heavy hitters in your communication toolkit. These are the formal documents you pull out when you need to be super precise, when you need a paper trail, and when you need to project a little authority. This isn't for your casual Slack messages. This is for when your words really matter.
So, in a world of DMs and instant messages, why on earth would you ever write a business letter? Well, this is your go-to for anything official that's happening outside your company. Think formal inquiries, job applications, or even official complaints. Its real power is in its weight. It creates an official record and basically tells the other person, hey, this is serious and you need to pay attention. Now, you might look at this and think it's just old-fashioned, right? But this structure is actually a genius formula for clarity that's worked for centuries. And there's a reason for that. Every single piece has a job. The addresses and the date, that's your legal record. The formal "Dear Sir" and "Sincerely," that sets a respectful tone. And the signature, that's your personal stamp, your guarantee. It's a formula that just plain works because it leaves zero room for confusion.
Okay, so what about messages inside your own company? Well, one size definitely does not fit all here either. If you're announcing something to literally everyone, like a company-wide holiday, that's a notice. If you're issuing a new mandatory policy, that's a memorandum, or, a memo. But what if you only need to update, say, the sales team about a new process? That's when you use a circular. Picking the right tool for the job makes sure the right people get the right message without all the extra noise.
Okay, so we've got the paper stuff down. Let's jump into the digital world. We're shifting from paper to pixels to focus on the tool we probably all use hundreds of times a week, email. It's become our default way to communicate, but that doesn't mean we're always using it right.
Email. It's a total double-edged sword. On one hand, it's amazing. It's fast, it's cheap, it creates an instant record of everything. But its greatest strengths are also its biggest weaknesses. That incredible speed can lead to sloppy mistakes and a tone that gets completely misread. And the sheer volume of email we all get can lead to total information overload, burying your super important message under a pile of junk. So yeah, all that speed and convenience, it comes with a catch. You've got to be careful. Email security is not a nice-to-have, it's a must-have. Phishing scams are everywhere, trying to trick you, so be skeptical. Don't open weird attachments, and please, please, please double-check that you're sending that sensitive file to the right person before you click send. Think of it as your digital self-defense.
Look, knowing how to use email is one thing, but knowing how to talk to other humans over email, that's a whole different ballgame. And this is where email etiquette comes in. These are the unwritten rules that separate the professionals from the amateurs.
If you can nail these 8 simple rules, I'm telling you, it'll completely change how people see you professionally. A clear subject line shows you respect their time. Proofreading saves you from embarrassing typos. And for the love of all that is good, think 3 times before you hit reply all. Every one of these little things adds up to build a reputation for being someone who's competent and professional.
Okay, let's make this real. Picture this. You've got a big assignment due, but life just gets in the way. It happens. You need to ask your professor for an extension. This is a classic moment where good email etiquette is absolutely critical.
Oof, we've all gotten an email like this, right? Or maybe even sent one, let's be honest. The subject is useless, the tone is way too casual, it almost sounds demanding, and there's no context. This kind of email does not make the person on the other end want to help you out. It's basically a communication dead end.
Okay, now let's flip the script. What does a good version of that email look like? Well, it starts with a clear subject line, something like request for extension with the course name. It has a polite greeting, it includes a brief professional explanation for why you need it. And here's the key, it proposes a solution, like a new deadline you can meet. That shows you're responsible, respectful, and proactive, and that is effective communication.
All right, so we've gone all the way from old school formal letters to the nitty-gritty of email etiquette. So what's the big takeaway here? It's about making a shift from just mindlessly sending messages to actually building a thoughtful communication strategy.
Think about it this way. Your communication toolkit is now fully loaded. You've got the formal letter for the really big official stuff. You've got the internal memo for company-wide updates, and you've got email for almost everything else. The real skill, the true strategy, is knowing which tool to pull out of the box for which job, every single time.
And that brings me to one last question for you to think about. We're entering a world where AI can write a perfect email in 2 seconds. So are all these rules we just talked about becoming obsolete? Or does understanding the human side of all this, the tone, the etiquette, the strategy, does that actually become the most valuable, future-proof skill you could possibly have?